Hi, teachers. This is our final installment of what happened during the observation and your questions when we watched Math Workshop in Mrs. Sosby's class. Thank you, Ms. Sosby, for being willing to do this. And I know the teachers will also thank you because of this just being a hard thing to do, to sit in front of a camera to be shown to your peers. She doesn't want to walk into your classroom and see you actually watching these videos. She was hopeful that I wasn't showing these videos at a faculty meeting. This is for you to watch on your own time. That way you can get your questions answered that you had. So, final set of questions mostly have to do with curriculum. Okay. But I did want to touch on how do you choose topics for your math rotations, and how do you plan for that rotation of activities for that acronym MATH?
Like their independent hands-on practice stuff?
Yeah, just how do you choose those topics? And you've touched on this a little bit, but maybe just kind of how do you choose what they're going to work on during independent time, just to kind of tie a bow around that last session.
Okay. I pick a lot of spiral review skills that are over there, and then there are also things that we're currently working on. No prep things like sets of cards for them to practice multiplication. And then we have some other activities that we've done in groups, and as we're done with them in groups, they go in there for them to do independently. We're going to do fractions on a number line, just different activities that help spiral review some of that information that we've passed, and also for them to keep everything fresh for them.
Okay, good. Where'd you get those cup stacking games? Everybody was like, where'd you get that?
You want me to say the magical word?
I think I know the magical word.
It's not Pinterest, though.
It's not, but it's the next best thing, if not better.
Teachers pay teachers.
Teachers pay teachers. And I think Miss Peterson left some of those that you used.
She did, and then I just modified and made some more.
So if you're watching, thanks, Pete.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah. So she's just pulled those from Teachers Pay Teachers or other places, and that is okay.
Some of the units have activities, and I just like the no prep ones where you print off the directions and here's a deck of cards and this is what you do.
And again, the accountability for that is found in that notebook. Okay, did this mini lesson come directly from the unit, or was it modified in any way?
It was modified.
Okay.
The number sets that were asked for, I discussed that with you before. They were wanting us to learn how to decompose into groups of 10. They were wanting tens of tens of tens, hundreds and hundreds with tens. It was just too large of number. We had done the problem the day before, and we just couldn't. Those sets of numbers were just too large.
Okay, all right. So other than that, though, it was a unit plan. Do you do whole class instruction each day?
The mini lesson happens every day except Monday.
Yeah. Okay. How do you check for understanding during the mini lesson when students are spread out so far? So just kind of, you've got some kids sitting, you give them that choice. Yeah. Do you want to come sit down here? Now, if they're on the other side of the room, they have to come sit down there. But how are you checking for understanding during that mini lesson?
I walk, and also Ms. Tolan will walk and help me make sure everybody's on task and on process. We've pretty much got the routines and procedures down now. We may not have the procedure of the mini lesson down, but they know that they're supposed to be working. We're working on it. It's all still a process.
Yeah, and I think also, tell me if I'm wrong, again, that's in a notebook that they bring to the small group, and you could check on that. This question, I think, more follows, or would be one that I would address. The question came, and it was, I don't think I had more than one, but does the workshop model need to be strictly followed in the order that's communicated? I'm assuming what you mean from that question is as far as that document, the math workshop model, and I think the answer is no. As you saw in Miss Sosby's class, she does her mid-workshop work first. And I think all of third grade kind of has to do it that way. because of the time frame that they have their instructional assistant. It makes sense to do your mid-workshop work when you have the instructional assistant available to pull small groups. So there is some flexibility with that, within that, adapting that model. And so again, remember this, and I've said this, and I want to say this again. Right now, we are still building that math workshop model. And your feedback and you implementing it, you dipping your toe, is the way that we're going to be revising that model and making it better and adapting it in a way that helps us provide some leveled instruction for students and also provide grade level instruction in what I think can be an efficient way. So the direct answer, no. Is CGI embedded in your math or mini lesson time, Ms. Sosby?
Yes.
Okay.
It is embedded.
Okay.
It's very flexible. Some of those skills have to be taught, and some they can, after they've been taught, they can do some different, and we talk about how everybody's brain works differently, and they can use the CGI style after we've learned a couple different techniques.
Good. Well, and I think that what you were describing there is that push and pull that we've talked about for years, about trying to determine when is there a need for direct instruction versus when is there a need for more of that discovery style. And it really is a kid by kid and a group by group decision. And so it just takes watching students attack problem solving, either asking the right question in the right place, or whenever you decide that, you know what, we're not getting there, now it's time to prompt, cue, or direct teach. And so that's what I'm hearing there. Is that, well, this concludes our final installment regarding curriculum and other questions. Thank you again, Mrs. Sosby. Thank you for watching. I hope this was a format that helped you get your questions answered and helped you better understand the observation you saw in her class. Have a great day.